नहीं मेरा। सतनाम वाहिगुरु साहिब जी पितों भगवती सिमर के गुरु नानक लीते आए ते अंगद कुते अमरदास रामदासी होए सहाय। हर जन हर गोबिंद नो सिमरो सिरि हर राय। सिरि हर कृष्ण ते आई है जिस डिठे सब दुख जाए। तेग बहादुर सिमरे कार नौ नित आवे ताए। सब थाई होए सहाय दसवीं पातशाह तन तन ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਭ ਥਾਈਂ ਹੋਏ ਸਹਾਈ। ਦਸਾਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਜੋਤ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਭ ਥਾਈਂ ਹੋਏ ਸਹਾਈ। ਦਸਾਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਜੋਤ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਨੀ ਮਾਨਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਨ, ਨੀ ਤਾਣਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਤਾਣ, ਨੀ ਦੀ ਓਟ, ਨੀ ਆਸਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਆਸਰੇ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਹਜ਼ੂਰ। ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਸਾਈਬਰ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੁੜੀ ਹੈ। आप जी आप समर्थ होवो, सारियां नूं सुमत बुद्धि बख्शो, अपनी पवित्र बाणी दे अर्थ आप सारियां दे मूहों कढाओ, बाणी ते अर्थां ते चलन दी समर्था बख्शो, अपनी सुमत बख्शो जी। सी प्यारे मेलो जिन्हां मिलिया तेरा नाम चितावे, नानक नाम चढ़दी कला तेरे बानी सिरबत दा भला। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।
Paranuji, I think today we are going to start Pauri 30th, Ekamai. Auntie, can you also read us the Pauri?
जी sure. ਏਕਾ ਮਾਈ ਜੁਗਤ ਵਿਆਈ ਤਿੰਨ ਚੇਲੇ ਪਰਵਾਨ। ਇੱਕ ਸੰਸਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਭੰਡਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਲਾਏ ਦੇ ਬਾਣ। ਜਿਵ ਤਿਸ ਪਾਵੈ ਚਲਾਵੈ ਜਿਵ ਹੋਵੈ ਫੁਰਮਾਨ। ਉਹ ਵੇਖੈ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਨਦਰ ਨਾ ਆਵੈ ਵਖਤਾ ਇਹ ਵਿਡਾਣ। ਆਦੇਸ ਤਿਸੈ ਆਦੇਸ ਆਦ ਅਨੀਲ ਅਨਾਦ ਅਨਾਹਤ ਜੁਗ ਜੁਗ ਏਕੋ ਵੇਸ।
Thank you, Ji. Ekankar Ji, can you give us like the brief message in this story, like the translation from your point of view, and what is the internal message in this story?
For me, this is, this Pauri, I'll read the translation that I've done of it. There is one mother, married to all time and space. From her 3 devotees are born, one that creates, one that nourishes, and one that holds court deciding the fate. As it pleases thee, O Divine One, so these devotees move, acting according to thy divine command. The divine sees all, but the created can't see the divine at all. Wow, this is such a great drama. I bow to the very act of bowing to thee, O Divine One, beyond time, beyond color, beyond sound, beyond form and containment, age after age, you are the one. So for me, this Pauri is, again, Guru Nanak being in a very non-dualistic view, and it honors the divine feminine, this Pauri. It starts off honoring the Shakti power, the mother, the creative aspect of the divine. And one thing that I think Guru Nanak does so well is that he can illuminate how creation works and at the same time see the structure of the creation as within Hukam. So he sees the creativity, the Shakti, the mother. He sees these 3 energies that all life has to live by. We are born, we enjoy, and then like there's death or destruction or deliverance, and that everything moves. The creation is constantly moving. And yet at the same time, while Guru Nanak can see how creation works and the stages of it and the play of the polarity, he also recognizes that nothing is happening that isn't part of Hukam, that isn't part of the divine command. And so it's that non-dualistic space that sees the divine behind the play. And then he makes that beautiful comment that says, the one can see it all, but we can't see the divine, and that's the drama. That's the thought in, and how wonderful that is, like how amazing it is. So it's to me, it's an illumination the creative play and the nature of hukam, and also, like I said, an honoring of the divine feminine in this pori.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you very much. Jasbir Kaur Ji.
जी
And can you, like you heard Kankarji, like, can you give us like your take on this pori? Like, there's some reference to some old Hindu mythology, like that is we learn from the existing tikas.
mhm.
You can just give us like what is the established interpretation of this shabad or this body, and then what is the real message in this body?
Yeah, for me, each word in this, even in the first line, has its own, like I can say, very valuable meaning. First word is eka. So eka means only and only one. My, my means mother, ma. So I can, I was understanding this my from a Shabad. There is a Shabad in Guru Granth Sahib which says, Doe Mai, Doe Bapa Padiye, Pandit Karo Vicharo. This Shabad is in Rag Basant. So in this Shabad, Guru Pasha is saying, when a person or when a man is under the influence of or under the control of two mothers, then the result is that always fluctuation is there, always up downs, that dolna wali avastha is there. But there is one line in the same Shabad which says, Ram Ravanta Janiye Ik Mai Pog Kare. Ram Ravanta Janiye means one can realize or one can relish that Ram, which is omnipresent, only and only when Ik Mai Pog Kare, when it eats up the one mother, that eats up that mother which is Maya. So what it means, that when one mother, that Maya Rupi mother is totally vanished from the state of mind, then there is Eka Mai. Only and only one mother, that divine mother, that which you call Satgur Ki Mat, is now controller and creator of inner Srishti. So Eka Mai Jugat. Then this meaning Jugat, what I learned from this Jugat, this Jugat is again from that previous body, Kwari Kaya Jugat. The same Jugat. Jugat is when our internal body, internal senses. Yogi was only virgin because of their outer kaya, but Guru Nanak Pasha is asking about inner kaya. When your inner kaya will remain Kuari, virgin, free from vices. When it is free from vikar, free from augal, then and only then it is Kuari. So that Jugat, in that Jugat, what happens? Vyai. What do you mean by Vyai? Vyai means pursuit hui, produce kite. So again I got this message from this Vyai from another Shabad in which Guru Nanak Pasha says, कहना है किछ कहन न जाई तो कुदरत कीमत नहीं पाई. I want to say something about you, Lord. Oh Paramatma ji, Ikonkar ji, I want to say, but I'm not able to say because I don't have any words to say. कहना है किछ कहन न जाई तो कुदरत कीमत नहीं पाई. Your creation is priceless. So in this Shabad, Guru Pasha is stressing us on mata mat pitra santokh. If you want to say something or if you want to praise that Lord, but you have to take the divine mat and contentment. Wisdom is the mother and contentment is the father. Then with the union of this wisdom of the mother and contentment of the father, union gives us the child. In that Shabad, Guru Sahib says, Sach santat kaho nanak jog. Only and only good qualities will produce. So in this Shabad, Guru Pasha is saying, Eka Mai, only and only the Divine Mother can produce with this Jugti, with the union of contentment, and gives what? That Chele. Tin doesn't mean three. When we say tin means three, then we got the confusion. But here, tin means usne. Tin is singular pronoun. We can get, there is an line, Turki bani ai, tin sagli chint mitai. Tin means us bani ne. So in this, tin is us mat ne. Us divine mat ne priceless qualities nu produce kita. The divine mother produces or gave birth to priceless qualities. Then there is Chele. What do you mean by Chele? Chele is always followers. But mother always gave birth to offspring. So sometimes, even in our houses, we usually talk about like this. If a child is very obedient to his parents or to her mother, then everybody says, Ete maa da chela hai. So their chele means those qualities are always follows that divine mother. That's why they are accepted by the Lord, Almighty Lord, which is present in the Antaratma. So Eka Mai Jugat Vyai Tin Chele Parvan. Us mat de chele accepted hue. So from one line I'm giving this meaning. So let's listen about all others. Then I'll talk next.
Thank you जी, thank you very much जी. गुरजीत वीर जी.
हाँ जी, वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा।
हाँ जी भाई फतेह जी, can you talk now? हाँ जी, so here हाँ जी वीर जी, can you talk now? You need a few more minutes.
No, I can just finish the first, like Eka Mai. Mai is Hukam. So Eka means there is two type of Eka. When there is Eka within your thought process as well. All of such kind with issue of Eka. Eka is between two things. Mera toda Eka. The Eka is between me and you. So they are all in Eka and they have Jukti through some process. Vi means expansion hui hai. I think we quite close in meaning. Sada vyah hona hai ithe aake. Vyah jeev da hona. Eka mai Jukti vyai tin. Tin is mai again. Auntie ji has picked the word right. It's not teen, it is tin. Tin is again mai. Chele Pravan, Jeeves, everyone who is produced is a Chela. Chela is looking for a Gur. They are not Gurs here. We are all Chelas. Chela has to find its Gur to get married. Vyai is the word which is an expansion of Vyai, means after Vyah because your family expands. So the whole purpose of creating this creation is that these chelas, all those jeeves who are born here, can get married and become Purna Brahma and go back to Sachkhand. Ekka Mai Jukti Vai Tin Chele Pravan. So you want me to continue the second one or we just stop here?
No, I think so. You're saying it is a Jugat or Jukti?
Jukti, the word is actually Jukti. Punjabi people read it Jukt, but the word is Jukti because it is with a Sehari. We sometimes don't put. Same way the word is Bhakti, not Bhagat. But we just say, because we also say the Bhagat with the Mukta is Bhagat, noun. But this is Jukti. When it becomes a verb, you have to speak that Sehari with it, that to distinguish. Now, otherwise, it's not a clear distinction between a noun Bhagat and Bhakti, which is a verb. So you can say Jugat, I don't bother about these things. So Ekamai say Jugat Vyai, with some process she has produced the Maya. Maya is always in the Brahm. It hasn't come from anywhere else. It was always in the Brahm. And that whole purpose was to get these chelas parvan. If you read Satta Balwanda's War, they say one thing. They say, Pyu Dade Jevya Potra Parvan. Parvan manne hona hai. Only the mind has to get Parvan accepted. Until it becomes Puran Brahm, it can't be accepted.
Hanji. I think you can continue to second line.
So I'll just stop here.
I think
Yeah, I'll just drop my customer and then someone can continue. Then I'll be free.
Sure, thank you, Ji. Hanji, Ekankar Ji?
Have we heard from Gurdeep Singh yet?
I think he's having the audio issue. Gurdeep Singh Ji, can you hear us now? Yeah, I think he's having the audio issue. He's somehow not able to hear us. He just called me, so we go back to him after this. So you heard Jasbir Kaur Ji and Gurjeet Singh Ji, and so they are interpreting the first line as that. So they're not considering this tin as a tree that normally we see in the traditional tikas. And as per you heard Gurjeet Singh Ji that how he's interpreting that everything is here for Eka, and Eka and Tin refer to the same Ik. So, how is your take on this one?
Well, I honor that everyone's having their own experience of Gurbani, and but I don't agree with that. So when I look at the next lines, Eka Sansari, Eka Bandari, Eka Le Diban, there's the three right there. I think sometimes we overthink it and try and make things more complicated than it needs to be. But I learned with Dr. Balkar Singh. He was the one who took me through Japji. So that was my experience and my study, and I honor that other people have their own scholarly investigations, and we're not always going to agree. But I think we don't need to overthink these things, and you can see in the lines the three that Guru Nanak's referring to right after the first line. So that's my perspective, but I don't mean to.
Yeah, I think so we can go back to them and just see like how they can interpret second line. So how we can make the connection from the second to the first line. Jasbir Kaur Ji?
Hanji. In the second line, Guru Pasha is saying Ik Sansari. In every Ik, there is a anchor below the Kaka. So yes. This shows, this doesn't mean 1, 1, 1, 1. This Ik is us karte da Ik. Because this above line is that as Gurjeet Virji was saying that Eka Mai Jugat Vyai. Eka Mai Jugati Nal Vyai. Which Mai Vyai? He is saying Hukam, but I have taken it from the Gurbani. This Mai is Satgur Di Mat. So Satgur Di Mat Vyai Gai, then again their word is Parvan. So Parvan hona means accept hona. परमात्मा ने किन्नू परवान करना है परमात्मा उन्नू ही परवान करेगा जो परमात्मा दे अपने गुणा वर्गा हैगा सो उधरों दी समझ आया एक संसारी ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਾਏ ਸੀ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਕਰਤੇ ਦੇ ਹੀ ਗੁਣ ਸੀ। ਸੋ ਕਰਤੇ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਹੋਣ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ when man has all qualities of kartar ikonkars, only then he is, or the man is accepted by the malik, by the lord almighty god. So ik sansari means create qualities of creativity. Ik pandari means qualities of distribute, treasure nu distribute karna. And these both the things we are getting from the, even from the previous Pauris. This third Pauri is totally linked with the 28th and 29th Pauri. From 28th we are getting this quality santok, contentment, and from 29th we are getting this daya pandaran. So both the things are seen from the previous Pauri. So ik sansari,
please check that you have all your belongings and thank you for choosing yellow caps.
Ik Panjari, that distributed treasure, and ik laye diwan, and the other quality is court, justice karna, khote khare parakhna. So what the Guru Sahib is saying, that the technique with which inner kaya should be virgin, free from toxic, negative, wasteful thoughts, and the thought process remain will create only positive, right, necessary, and elevated thoughts. Then those cheles are parvan. So ik sansari, creativity wali quality, panjari, and ik lai diwan, which separates that that qualities, you know, in which the thought process produces toxic thoughts. So now one can justice, or one can separate his or her own thoughts, then it is accepted by the Lord.
Thank you. Can you continue on the third line too? Because I think that's also connected, like give this away.
Yeah, sure. So even there is a Shabad in Gurbani which says, Pati tore malini pati pati jio, jis pahan ko pati tore so pahan nirjio. In that Shabad, Guru Pasha says, Brahmapati, Bishanadari, Fool Shankar Deo, Teen Dev, Partak Tore, Kare Kiski Seo. So even in that Shabad, Guru Pasha is saying, which is the creativity quality? Brahmapati. Leaves. Leaves are the symbol of creation. Dari, those branches are the symbol of the Vishnu. And the fool, flower, is the symbol of the Shankar. So Guru Pasha is already giving some examples in the Gurbani which gave us the idea of this ik sansari, ik pandari, ik lai dipan. So now next Guru Pasha says, Jiv tis pave, tive chalave, jiv hove, kurman. So in this Guru Pasha is saying, this is the surrender state of mind. Because with those qualities, and as the man contains more and more qualities, it is becoming low and low, and it's feeling, realizes its amazing state of mind. So in the surrender state of mind, man realizes that this all is because of you, Kartaji. You are the controller, you are the creator of my inner as well as outer. But with the inner Srishti, I can realize is only the outer one. Jiu tu chalaye, tiv chalna Swami, hor kya jana gun tere. So this is the Pauri in Anansar. Before this Pauri, Guru Pasha said Bhagta ki chal nirali. Already explaining that nirali chal, that unique way of living. Which is the unique way of living? Lab, lobh, hankar, taj, na, bahut nahi polna. When one follows this unique way of life or unique way of living of the man and the thought process, then says jiv te supave tive chalave. Jiv hove furman from antaratma, that jameer ki awaaz, that hukam. As the hukam, I am listening the hukam from inside, and as hukam leads me, I am walking on that path only.
Okay. I think normally just going back to the traditional meanings, uh, these lines always referring back to the Hindu mythology that there is one Brahma who is the creator of everything, and then one Vishnu who is running the show, and then the Shiv who destroy everything. And normally the interpretation goes the third line, trying to say that even though these people think this is how the world works, but it is not like that. It is the one Vaheguru who is controlling everything and running the show. And basically there's nothing in hands of these three people. But you are saying that in this one, the third line, you are trying to interpret that it is the man is saying that Jivte supave tive chalave. So we are doing as you uh, hukam jiv hove farman. So the third line is nothing relating to the second line or the how normally the tikas explain it.
No, the third line is explaining the first and second line. With that furman, got the Maya, Mai, Eka Mai Jugat Vyai. How one can get this divine mother only and only we can get from that Hukam Furman. With that Hukam Furman, what happens? There was two mothers before. One was Maya. My man was controlled by two Akkal. One was Avidya and one was divine. But realizing the two mother eaten up the Maya Wali mother, vanishes that Maya Wali mother. But how one can vanishes its Maya Wali mother alone? No, one can't vanishes this. This is only and only because of Furman. Furman is with first line, with second line, with third line. If we take the meaning which are already there, then how can Tin Chele Parvan? There is Parvan. Parvan the niche भी anchored hai. How can those chelas are Parvan by the Lord? And tin doesn't mean tin, three. Why three? Because the numbering is man-made. Guru Pasha never suggests us the number. Guru Pasha says, lekhe vich Paramatma alekh hai. Paramatma jo hai, wo alekh hai. Paramatma de naal koi number nahi aanda. Qualities abundant ne, enormous ne, count nahi kitiyan ja sakdiyan.
Thank you. And can you continue? I think vekhe on another naave. So who is trying to vekhe? Like, can you continue on this line?
Yes, O vekhe. O vekhe is the Lord. This all stages or the you can say ja avastha man is realizing or relishing. That is enjoying that O vekhe, that Lord, that ikonkar is. Vekhe doesn't means dekh reha hai. Vekhe means take care kar reha hai, sambhal reha hai. Because he is the creator, he is take care karan wala, ohi sab kuch karan wala hai, ਉਹਨੇ ਹੀ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹੀ ਟੇਕ ਕੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹੀ ਹੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੋਂ ਦੀ ਇਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ wrong thoughts ਵਾਲੀ ਮਤ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ vanish ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ. Only and only Almighty Lord has power of creation, of taking care and of destroying. O Viki, Ikonkar takes care, always keeps an eye on the creation. O Viki. The next word is Ona Nadar Na Ave. Ona Nadar Na Ave means because this man is realizing it's both the stages, Kudiyar Avastha and Satyar Avastha. It's traveling from Kudiyar Avastha to Satyar Avastha. He is realizing, but in Kudiyar Avastha, none see him. When man was with that mat, with that avidya wali akal, none can see him. If we say, oh, vekhe ona nadar na aave, ona means chelyanu. Ona means when one is getting accepted by the karta, ona nadar na. But Guru Pasha says, jaisa Satguru sunita, taiso hi main did. With the Divine Mother, one can see the God. God. What do you mean by God? The abundant qualities and the hukam. When we realizes, जदों हुक्म बूझांगे, हुक्म देखांगे, हुक्म समझांगे, ताई हुक्म पे चलांगे. How can we say ओना नदर ना आवे? Ona nadar na ave is my state of mind when I was in Kudiyar Avastha. This is that gives amazing feeling. How wonderful this is. Wow feeling that now everything is controlled by the Karta. Now I can realize my both the states, Kudiyar and Satyar. Now I want to get rid of Kudiyar Avastha by realizing Kudiyar Avastha, and by realizing Satyar Avastha, I want to go only to this path, the Satyar Avastha wala rasta. O vekhe, ona nadar naave, bahta ehe vidaan. This vidaan, this amazing feeling, everything happens within the divine intellect with the command of that hukam, that will of God. So,
Thank you.
Ji.
Thank you very much, ji. Gurjeet Vir ji. हाँ जी गुरजीत
हाँ जी भाई साहब, कैन यू हियर मी?
हाँ जी, we can hear you now.
ठीक है, एक जो माई ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਦੀ ਮੱਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਪ੍ਰਸੂਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਈ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਦੀ ਮੱਤ ਨੇ, ਕਿੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰਸੂਤ ਹੋਣਾ ਸੀ?
ਗੁਰਜੀਤ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ,
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੈਲੋ,
can you do in English?
Okay, either we don't understand the meaning of Satguru. This here is my Satguru, not Satgur. Satguru, the one who has creating power. Why was the earth created? You have to follow the Pauris from Sanjog Vijog Kar Chalave, Lekhe Ave Pag. This is what has been now explained. How Sanjog is happening, how Viyog is happening, what is the conditions of Sanyogi and Viyogi. So if you want to put it as three, you have to use the word teen. Gurbani is not written in Punjabi. And all these people who have done the earth as three, they think Gurbani is written in Punjabi. For three, we have a definite rule in Gurbani. Tatte nu bihari, nanne nu sihari. It's a rule. The nanna should come with a sihari. There is only one place where it is missing. Okay, otherwise at 66 places you will find tatte nu bihari, nanne nu sihari. That's how we write numbers. Same way we write the word char. With the sihari means 4. When you write in Japji Sahib ko gun vadiyaiyan char, that doesn't mean 4. That is more for achar. So we have to follow the grammatical rules. We can't overrule these things. The way the Pauri is written, if you accept that is written in a correct way, then you can't say 3. Forget about 3 will never be acceptable in this Pauri. Because we are so much being brainwashed by Hindus that we are forced to think that way. Gurbani always comes to 1. Okay. Second point I'll try to give you. If you say 3, as Okankar Ji Kaur was saying, then this should be Ik Sansari Dua Pandari Tia Lai Diwan. That's how the Pauri will be written then. If there are 3 entities, It can't be ik sansari, ik pandari, ik lai divan. There's a way in which Gurbani is written. So this is another, and then if you say Brahma, later on we have to do Kete Brahme Kart Kadiye. There are billions of, trillions of Brahmas. Which one you're talking if you mention one here? You have to clarify later which are those Kete Brahme. So Chele is Jeev. Chela has to find his Guru. There's Gur, not Guru. Gur Chele ki Sand Milai, we have got a Pankti in Gurbani where it tells that the Chela has come here to get Parwan only if it goes and attaches with its Gur. So then it becomes Puran Brahm, and the Puran Brahm is what the Bani tells us. The Bani's only updesh for us is how to become Puran Brahm. So this is one aspect of it. Tin Chele, not three. She has accepted each one of us who are on this earth now. We are the Chelas. And now we try to find the Gur through Gur Prasad or Gurbani, whatever. Then Ik Sansari. Out of those Chelas, there are three sorts of people. Ik Sansari, jere sansar naal jud gaye hain. They are in three. Rajotamo Sato, Sansari. Tira haath chadya nirmolak chhoot gayi Sansari. What does Nanak says? I'm out of those three. Rajotamo Sato. Sansari is indicating three guns. Rajotamo Sato all come in Sansari. Ik Pandari. Those who have Pandara, those who are Puran Brahms, they were born like us, Nanak Bhagats. They have attained the Pandara. Never in Gurbani, even once, the word Pandari means Maya. It always means Brahmgyan. There is never an indication if someone wants to try to push it towards Vishnu. You have to find a Pankti to prove that Pandara Shabad means Maya. It never means Maya in Gurbani. It always means Brahmgyan. So, Puran Brahm. Second one, those who are basically Jivan Mukt. And their third is Iklai. Those are like us. We as a group, we are in the process of Lai. Diban. It's not one word. There are two words. Once Antiji has indicated a Shabad. I didn't point out at that time, but I have to do it now. Jo Milya Hari. Not Hari Diban Syung. Jo milya Hari di Ban Syu, so sabna di Bani milya. Again, di has to be broken there too. Jo, the same is saying here, Lai di Ban. One like us are in process. We are not there like Bhagats, but we are better than Sansaris, which think that at least we are doing some effort, but we are not there yet. Lai, so that we are trying hard to get into that sort of position which Bhagats were. So this is what those three words mean. Ik, means some of them are doing this, some of them are doing that, some of them are doing that. Not one, two, or three. Not Ik Sansari, Dua Pandari, Tia Lai Diban. There's no mention of those three people, I think, in this Pauri, as per my understanding. Jivtis Pava. This is again Ekamai. Imen Chalava. But jo Sansari hai, they can't see this. We think that God is doing it. Bhagats not certainly. The Sansaris doesn't know about it. They think no one is looking at us. This is the biggest thing, that three sorts of the Jeeves born here have three different feelings in them. Then the Pauri finishes. Jivtis Bhava, Tivechalava, Jiv Hove Furman. The Furman is the hukam in which everything is happening and will continue to happen. Adesh, they say. Adesh is same. That do and go in front of Adesh. Who is the Adesh? To whom I have to do Adesh? Ad, who is the Hukam. Anil, how many are in the Hukam? No one knows. Anad, there is an end to Hukam, but there is no end to Jot. Jot is Anahat. Jug Jug Eko waste. The Hukam always prevails like that. So I'll just stop here.
And thank you, Viji. Can you give us a little bit of, for Sansari, you mentioned Rajot, Tamo, and Sato. So can you give little properties of like what these three properties are and how we differentiate between the Sansari and the Diban per your interpretation?
The thing is that when you are interacting, interacts with Maya, it can only interact in three ways. Either it interacts in Rajogun, Tamogun, or Satogun. They are Avguns actually, but it's written Gun, because it's one place where Guru Nanak Sahib has indicated Tre Gun Mete Khaiye Sar. Until you finish these three, you can't get into the state of Mukti. So, whatever of these three guns, Rajo, Tamo, and Sato, this is all Sansar. But the others who have realized it, that we don't want to live in Sansar, but we want the Bhukt Gyan, some of them have attained the Bhukt Gyan and become Purna Brahms, like the Bhagats and Nanak and all 35 Bhagats, I'll say. The others like us are in process. Diban is two words. If you read the Shabad, I don't know, it's by Bhagat. Tu Ram Kahan ki chod ban. Ban means adat. Tu Ram Kahan wali adat chhad de. This is an instruction from Harnakas to his son. Ban also means adat, and even Sahib Singh accepts it, that ban means the word adat. So it's a habit. We want to get one with our mool, and we are trying to attain those habits which are already in our mool. So this is lie. We are trying. Lie means launa. We are trying to merge with him, but we have not been there. So this is the third one. The second one, Pandari, means they have already got the Pandara. Bhugat Gyan, Daya Pandaran. They have it. Guru Nanak didn't say the yogis that you should do it, but he tells them there are people who are Pandaran here. If you are not there, you just work hard. So this is how I see these three. So Sansari covers Rajotama Sato, Pandari covers all the Gurmukhs and Bhagats, and the others who are trying to attain this state are Lai Divan. They are just in process of reaching there.
Thank you, Gurjit. I think it sounds interesting. It took me some time because looked like a new interpretation, but I like what I heard. But normally when you see any kind of a poetic or any Gurbani, normally when we say that people are Sansari, that means they are still in the Maya, they are still in Rajotamo, Sato. Then the next word should have been Divan. People are somehow Sansari, then they start in the Divan mode, then they try to understand, and then they become Vibhavandhari. If we go with that, you're getting my point. Normally, if we see this interpretation, then the Pandari word should have come at the end, because first we are saying people who are in Sansari mode, then who are trying to go there, and third who are already there. But as per your interpretation, first one is Sansari, second one who already are there, and third one are trying. Correct?
Yeah, means even if you read other Shabad, ik challe, ik ban, there are things which you can't see. They have to keep the poetry going as well. That's what Bujharat is all about. That we think it should be like that. Like we are thinking there are three, but it's not three. Okay, then we are thinking about the other aspect. So this is what we have to learn from Gurbani. That is what you are saying is that was our understanding. But then when the Bujharat has to be solved, it has to go back to Gurbani to find what the message might be in terms of Brahmgyan. So that's, you're right, the way you think, but I think this is the way Guru Nanak Sahib has written. It's a riddle.
Sure.
You can't say what should come first and what second has come.
Definitely, that's why we are in Khoj mode. We want to see how we can interpret better. Ekonkar ji? You heard?
Well, I've been listening. It's been fascinating and interesting for me to hear all this. I've never heard this interpretation before. I would say that from my perspective, you know, I'm grateful to hear this perspective. It's educational and enlightening for me. I'm not sure I would realign my thinking with it because I don't think the traditions are wrong, and I think sometimes we go overboard to try and change tradition when we don't need to. And so what I'll offer is this thought, if it's useful. We have to remember that Guru Nanak was raised as a Hindu. There's nothing wrong with that. He was born into a Hindu family. It's not a problem. He was very familiar with that idiom. And when we talk about the Divine Mother and we talk about these three energies, it's not Hindu mythology. It's actually the way that the Hindus described what they were seeing. You know, if you just observe creation, just observe it, you see there's a creative force. You see that life goes through a cycle. And because one religion created gods around that, Guru Nanak had the deeper vision. He had the deeper insight, and he saw into the reality of how the creation moves through the symbols. And when he sat and he taught people, we have to remember, he went out to the illiterate people. He wasn't teaching grammar. He was singing a song that helped people break through what they thought to a deeper reality. And so for me, I'm grateful to hear this other perspective. I'm going to meditate on it and keep it in mind. But I still think this Pauri works very effectively with Guru Nanak saying, you know, to illiterate people that he's singing with, you know this cycle of Eka Maya Jugataviyaya Tinachele Parvan, these three forces that are moving that one mother, but now go one step further and see just, you know, Jivatisabhava. Look into that and see that there's a hukam, there's a command, there's one who's moving it all. Go past it, see deeper. And so I'm going to stick with the way I feel comfortable with the Pauri for now, and I think that Guru Nanak was bringing illiterate people into a process to experience the oneness and the hukam, and that we don't have to, you know, he wasn't teaching grammar, we don't have to get too complicated with it. But I'm also going to investigate what I've heard further and learn more, because I'm not here knowing everything. I'm here as a student, sharing and listening. So that's my response.
Thank you, ji. Thanks for sharing. Jasbir Kaur ji.
Haji, even I am pleased by all, Ikunkar ji, Virji. So nice perspective. But I was watching this all from my inside, like the inner creation. So that was my take.
Hanji. And then I think so. I think Gurjeet Virji mentioned that he looked at the first line more as a hukum and not Sadguru ki mat. So can you like see like how you interpret it like that and then not as a hukum?
Because I got this thing from the Gurbani, Mata Mat Pita Santok, and even in that Shabad, Guru Pasha is saying this thing, and the last line of that Shabad gives me the whole idea, Sach Santat Kaho Nanak Jog, and from the 29th Pauri again that Sanjog Vijog. So for me that Sanjog was the union of that union of Man and Chit, and Vijog from the departation of from the ego. So even from that I was getting this Ekamai. From that Sanjog and from Kwarikaya Jugat I am getting this mother, which with this Jugti VI. So I was getting things from the even from the Swami. So
ठीक है जी. हाँ जी, गुरजीत वीर जी. हाँ जी, गुरजीत वीर जी, can you hear us?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
हाँ जी, I think so we pretty much covered, I think, this body in the traditional way, like how we normally interpret from the existing tikas as Ekonkarji explained, and then you gave a good explanation, and then Jasbir Kaurji also gave a good interpretation, and I think I have to go back and listen again and try to give more thought into it. Do you have any more to say on this body, or should we continue to next body, or because we only have 10 minutes? So how we want to proceed now?
Yeah, we can continue on this one.
And do you have any more insights on the body for us, or or you think we can move to the next one, the 31st Pauri, Asan Loi Loi Pandhar?
No, I think we should see. The thing is, if I say Ekonkar Kaur, whatever she says, you have to follow the language. There are three things which you can't disregard in Gurbani. So keep that in mind when you interpret. There is a singular plural always going on in Gurbani. There is a male female going on in Gurbani, and there is a tense going on in Gurbani. If you disregard these things, you can't be able to. I know there are mistakes in written, but they are not that you can't really fix them, and you know within your thought process, I will accept 1, 2, 3 as Oikonkar says. If she can write this body like Ikamai, Yuktavyai, Tinchele Parvan, Pandari, Tija Lai Divan. But it is not like that. Then we can, and then you have to pursue the word thin, as Auntie Ji has said. You can't say thin is a word numeral. Gurbani is a perfect composition with rhymes and also with grammar. There are some missing, as I said. If you read the word thin, there is only one place it is missing. If you read the word thin, it comes with 3 matras. Either thin with sihari, which means, as Auntie Ji has singular, thin with mukta, which means plural, but thin with an onkar means trin. You understand trin, which is a small part of any leaf or small part of any sort of vegetation, like the grass. Grass is named as trin. And they haven't done a mistake when they have written this word with onkar to prove, to show us that trin means thin with an onkar. So the very strict rules of Gurbani, if we try to overrun those rules, there will be a problem. You have to stay within rules if you can, but then you have to understand, you have to read those rules. It appears, as you say, like there's a Shabad, Ari Bai Gobind Namat Bisra. What understanding we have is not what the Bhagats are trying to give us. So we should try to read from the Gurbani, don't read to the Gurbani as much as we can. You don't mind, I've spent over 20 hours on this body with about 6 different people and tell them you bring me the widest of the explanation and I'll try to condemn it within the grammar. So I don't know, I'm really getting a good advantage from all this. That's why I try to share. I may go different because when you dig deep, you will find things are different. Gurbani has rejected Quran and has rejected all the Hindu scriptures. Common man's angle, we won't find the reality. That's not a justification I find within our group, because we are pretty learned people. We have to dig deep.
Thank you.
And
I think, thank you. I think we all, come with very open mind in these discussions, and then I think that's why the interpretation looks very fascinating. The only thing is that word thin caused the confusion because it is interpreted everywhere as 3. And in all the existing literature we find, and also as Ekamkarji mentioned that Gurbani was written for the common people. It was basically...
No, this is not it's a mistake if you think it was written for common people. This was written by Bhagats, and Bhagats are the supremest souls on this earth. It has rejected all the previous religions. Can you imagine if it is written at an ordinary level? All the Hindu scriptures are basically condemned by one shlok of Kabirji, Bavan Akhar Jude An, Sakyana Akhar Ek Pachan. He says all your scriptures to me means rubbish. That is the interpretation of Bhagats. Now you think this is a common statement. That's why everyone is after our blood, because Bhagat Sahib criticized, even you read Dasam Pasha, Kood Kriya Urjo Sab Gurbani. So I think it was written at a very high level. We need to slowly approach that level. From here, we should help each other to try to approach to that level. And we must say that this is the only religion which can basically, I basically tell everyone there's only one religion, the different faiths, and this is one of the supreme mats, but we have unluckily not comprehended it so far. We are in process.
Thank you, Virji. I think we are short of time, I think. So I think it's best we can start the next Pauri next week. Ekonkarji, any final thoughts?
Well, I love this dialogue. It's wonderful for me. It's educational for me. I will challenge this idea. I don't believe Guru Nanak went to the most illiterate people and they awakened to become the greatest people. I don't believe Gurbani. I think what his brilliance was, is he made the highest thought accessible to the lowest person, and that if we can't explain Gurbani where a homeless person understands something that changes their life, then we're not getting it. And that's my bias that I bring to it, but I'm grateful for the dialogue. I learned so much coming here, and that's my last comment, for the evening.
Thank you very much, Ji. We'll see you next week. Jasbir Kaur Ji?
Hanji, even I want to say like this, ki Gurbani, Guru Nanak Pasha uses the common people language, but the message is not that which we are thinking. Message is above, because as Guru Nanak Pasha is starting the thing, kiv sachiara hoiye, kiv kude tutte pal. This shows one has realizes his kudiyar avastha and wants to get rid of this kudiyar avastha. Then, but the common man is within some belief systems and already written something. With already written something, one can't get, as we have already written in our thought process that 10 means 3. Then that's why it's difficult for us. But if we haven't written this before, then it won't be difficult for us. So it's already written something, and we have to basically undo that thing. We have already saved something. It's difficult to delete that. That's why Guru Pasha says in one Shabad that man ki mat tyago harjan eha baat kathani. Difficult is not to get another thing. Difficult is undo to do the previous things. So as in Sukhmani Sahib, Guru Pasha says, Simru simar simar sukh pamu, and then next line Guru Pasha says, Kal kalesh tan mahi mitamu. We are reading this, but we don't know we have to mitavo something. We still ask, what do you mean by Simran? But Simran means you have to delete something. It's written over there in very simple language, but still we are not getting that message from it. Means we have already written something. And that's why it is difficult for us to get another thing. I think like this.
Thank you very much. Gurjeet Virji, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think Auntie Ji has said it all. It is written in common man's language, but it is not a common scripture. It is really, it needs, the best beauty of it is that all its meaning are within it. But that's what we need to time and to search and that sort of wisdom. And Guru Nanak never met ordinary people. He only met and tried to change the mullahs and the others. Because what common man can understand from his words? Although language is simple, as Auntie Ji said, common man's language, he didn't write it in Sanskrit, which is even hard to pronounce, but the message is very high class, and that's what we need to work hard on it. Help each other, whatever we have understood from each other is good, and keep on asking for more. Thank you, Ji.
Thank you very much, and thanks everyone, I think. So we will start with Pauri 31st next week. Okay, ji, Fateh Prawan Karne ji. Vaheguru ji ka Khalsa.
Bye.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Thank you, Chi.
Thank